What's up, guys? It's your boy Trigger Ninja. I'm doing a video on troubleshooting your ssp1. Some of the issues you may have. 90% of them, honestly, of most blowback issues are either the cylinder or in the mag. So, what issue you might want to check before anything? The first thing you want to check is make sure that this actually has gas in it. This doesn't have gas in it, but you'll know if you press on that and that's hard, you can't really press it down. That would mean it has gas in it. You may have to adjust your gas valve, which comes with a tool for that. It's got two little slots in it, and you can adjust your valve for your trigger. It'll make it like consume less gas or more gas if you're having issue with the gas consistency. Other thing is you might want to make sure that that's clear, because that's where your gas is going to be coming out to push the BB. So you want to make sure that that's clear and not gummed up. Another issue you may have is it's shooting gas but no BBs. Like sometimes these have a tendency, if you don't lube them up, to get caught in here, and you may have to clean the dirt out of this. And an easy fix, just take that off and take the spring out and clean this out real good with the Q-tip. You'll be good to go. I recommend lubing it up with some silicone oil. I don't recommend grease, because grease gets built up in here and it's a big mess. So, needless to say, that's some of the other issues. One issue you might want to check is to make sure that your gun is actually cleared and it isn't jammed in the actual barrel here, because it could be jammed in there. Another issue you may have as far as shooting is you can see that purple, if I can get a good angle, that purple rubber piece, there is a hop-up unit in there. It's a little hop-up bucking. Sometimes that hop-up bucking rolls up and it stops BBs from feeding into that. That could be an issue you may have. Another issue you may have is the fact that this is not clicking. There is a little knob right there that clicks in. When you hit that, it'll hit it and it hits a release valve. That release valve will allow the pressure to come up and actually fire the BB out. So if that's not touching, you may have an issue. Maybe it's broken, you never know. Something little like that could cause an issue. A couple other things. Let me kind of see if I can prop this up for a second, because I can't hold this up at the same time. So let's take this apart real quick. And if you don't know how to take this apart, there are videos on that. I don't really have the luxury of a GoPro on me right now. It's not charged, so. And my computer is not working right now, so I can't upload any videos, so kind of sucks. I gotta use my phone. Another thing you want to check internally is that metal piece in there where your trigger goes. It's really hard to see, but you can see it clicks in. If that's broken, you might not be getting the release to reset, so you know how that goes. And if you look inside here, when I hit this, see what happens? See that little metal piece kicking forward? That's what's going to hit your release valve. If that's not moving, that little metal piece right there underneath, it's silvery. If that's not hitting your release, it's not going to hit to release the gas, which is going to cause you issues. It's another thing you could have. You may have issues with it feeding in the winter. Say, for example, this is coming up right here. This is a big one right here. Is this little piece right here that sometimes gets stuck. If you don't clean them out regularly and lube them up regularly, that will jam, and that can cause issues in the winter especially. But not too big of a deal. Another thing you gotta check, like I said, that right there could be cracked. That little purple piece could be cracked in an area. Well, if you see right there, you might want to lube it up with silicone, whatever, you know. Make sure that it's sealed up and clean it. You see that it's kind of dirty right now. The little plastic is dirty, and it's not really sliding as easy as it should be because I haven't cleaned it in a while. But you normally want to grease that up and so it comes out easy. See how it's moving? If that's not moving properly, you're going to have issues with that. Either way, those could be some problems, issues you could be having, and I check a few of those. Like I said, there's a lot of issues you could be running into. It could be that little plastic piece inside. There's a little blue piece inside these, and that could be catching, and it could not be releasing. It might be stuck, and that might be causing your gas not to go through. So, you know, check on that as well. Other than that, these have springs in them as well for the triggers and stuff. Sometimes that trigger, there's a spring that kicks back on some of these. Sometimes the spring's weak. It could be causing issues kicking back. If these springs get weak, you need to replace them every so often. Well, not as often as you think, but very rarely do you have to replace a spring. But it is recommended to upgrade these springs if you've had them for a couple of years. I mean, these haven't been out that long, so I wouldn't really worry about it now. But if you're having issues during the winter, it kicking back, may be your springs just getting weak, and that tends to happen. Easy replacement parts can be ordered on average.com if you need to. Other than that, like I said, you might want to check your hop up right here. Sometimes your hop up's rolled up. You might have to take the whole hop up out. If you want to take the hop up out and replace the hop up, Navrich has videos on his website how to do that. But if you notice that it is curled up, you might want to go ahead and replace it anyway, but you might be able to save it. Just all depends. If it curls up, you know, too much, it could rip. And if it's ripped, you're going to have issues. Those are just some problems you might have with the ssp1 other than the other ones. Like the not locking mechanism, like on one of mine I had, that was too long and it wouldn't lock into place. But, you know, little issues like that. I mean, it's really not that many issues. Far as, you know, major issues with these, I mean, they are mass producing these, so they have, some of them get by quality, and, you know, very rarely, but it happens, you know. It's a big company now, but just look for those issues. If you have any of those issues, you can easily get replacement parts for them if you need. If you notice it's the mag, you can take the mag apart. It could be the mag's leaking and you don't have any gas in it. It just keeps leaking all out. You can replace the O-rings. There's videos on how to replace that on his page as well. This has a tendency to catch two BBs that get caught and won't want to move. That's one of the issues that we have with the Navrich mags. Like, they get caught up here, but most of them do that. You know, it tends to happen. They get gummed up. As long as you keep them cleaned and oiled up, shouldn't have a problem. And if you don't if you overfill these, like, try to get as many as you can in there. Like, I always leave a few, like, spaces, like, below, so that way they have a little movement. Because if you don't have any movement in there, it could cause them to double feed or jam sometimes. So just so you don't want too much tension in it, because it can cause issues as well. So just kind of keep a lookout of those. I hope this helps somebody that needs help with it or having issues to look for those specific things. Those could be the issues you could be having. This is True Ninja out. I hope you liked the video and explanation. I'm trying to help somebody out. So if this helps you, like and subscribe, and recommend a friend.